Hi, my brain explorers. Here's another video with David Snyder. Again, this is how you switch from one aspect of how your brain works to another aspect of how you're in changing your coding for how you code for different emotion. And he shows us how to do that back and forth. It takes a little practice, and things are a bit subtle. But again, look very closely. You'll enjoy it.
What I do is I want you to grab that picture, and I want you to pull it down and wrap it around you like a big blanket, and notice what happens to the feeling now. Is it Steve or Michael?
Michael.
Michael, what happened to the feeling? He's a happy camper over here. Travis, what happened, brother?
I'm in the picture.
You're in the picture. How's the feeling?
It's great.
Stronger or less stronger?
Stronger.
Perfect. Excellent. Now, you can have this back later, but for the moment, unwrap the picture, lift it back up. Now remember, you can have this back in just a moment, but for the drill, take that picture, imagine you can throw it all the way behind you, back behind the horizon. Notice what happens to the feeling. Arja, what happened to the feeling, brother?
It's not there.
It's not there? Michael, what happened to the feeling?
It's residual, actually.
He doesn't want to give it up. What's your name?
It's Sona.
Sona. What happened to the feeling?
It's still there.
And you didn't throw it far enough. They never want to see, they don't believe they can get it back. Dorina, what happened to the feeling?
It's not there, but I'm still okay.
I'm still okay. She's been through a few of our meetups. Everybody lift your hands up. Imagine you have big suction cups in your palms of your hands. Suck it back. Now put it where it will do you the most good, where it feels the best for you. And just let it soak in. And when you know you've got it, try to remove it. Notice what happens instead. Good. Congratulations. You've just learned how to interface with your entire nervous system simultaneously. You didn't need complex theory to do it, did you? Now, that's just a small part of what you can do with that. But it's the beginning, and it's a very powerful one. Next thing we're going to do is I want you to let those feelings come flooding back into your body. I want you to stand the way you were standing at the moment you realized you nailed it. At the moment you realized, home run, baby. I want you to stand in that posture, breathe the way you were breathing. If there was a sound or a voice in your head going, yeah! Let it play. And just let those feelings just come flooding back. While holding this physical posture, this physical breathing rate, without changing any single thing, try to feel bad. Notice you can't do it. Because your physiology controls your psychology. For every psycho-emotional state you experience, there is a physiology that your nervous system must assume in order to manifest it. If you break the cycle through your physiology, it doesn't matter what your willpower wants to do. You will overwrite the state. You will break it and you will change it in as little as 2 minutes. We're going to prove that even more. For this part, I want you to turn it face to that wall. Don't look at Candy. She's my camera person. I don't want you anchoring anything to her. All right? Now, think about what you had for breakfast yesterday. And what I want you to do now is I want you to imagine time or remember a time in your life where you saw something you wanted and you went for it. It didn't quite work out. Maybe you were disappointed. Maybe it was something you really wanted and it didn't work out. I want you to see what you saw, hear what you heard, feel what you felt, but most importantly, I want you to assume the physiology, the posture, the breathing rate that you did when you realized you weren't going to get it. It wasn't going to happen. Now, when you know you've got, we're not going to stay here too long because this sucks, I know. Suck being a technical term, I haven't come up with a cool acronym for yet. All I want you to do now, while holding that physiology, while holding that breathing pattern, without changing anything, try to feel good.
It's difficult.
Huh?
It's difficult to feel good.
I know that. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to do your best to hold on to that negative feeling, but all I want you to do now is shift your body back to the positive physiology. And notice what happens within a few seconds. And then just let the feeling just come flooding back because you know you want to anyway. And when you know you got it, double it. And double it again. Double it again. Turn face forward. Have a seat. How do you pronounce your name again, miss? Soraya? Sona? So now, what'd you discover? What'd you learn?
I learned I can control my mind.
You learned you can control your mind?
Yeah.
How?
So if I know that there is this feeling that is overcoming my present state of mind and I'm like emotionally drawn towards feeling bad, let's start thinking about things that make you feel successful and proud of your own self. So when you told me to, think about your good place, so I thought about the best thing that had happened to me and I was so proud of myself at that time. And it just turned everything around.
Okay. So what do you do with your body?
Oh yeah, that helps. See, that's your thing.
That's what I was going for,
Yeah.
right? The whole idea is I didn't ask you what you were thinking. I didn't try to change the story. What happened when you changed your physiology, when you changed your posture? What happened to your feelings?
It's hard to dwell on it's like, it makes it difficult to dwell on the problem. I don't know
So you mean when you, so, and again, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but let me say, so when you were doing the negative feeling, and you shifted to the positive physiology, the positive breathing, the positive posture, it was difficult to hold on to the old stuff?
Yeah, it was harder to dwell on the stuff I was thinking in the negative part.
How fast did that happen?
It was pretty fast. It did happen almost instantly, yeah.
This is the difference between trying to control your states and your emotions through your conscious mind versus your body. Your body generates the amplitude that changes everything quickly. Okay? So what you've learned in the last 15 minutes is how to change how you feel in any situation or circumstance to exactly what you want to feel. Now there is a couple of parameters that you have to abide by. How many people noticed, and we didn't do this one as much as I normally do, but how many people noticed that when you were having these states kind of at war with each other, when you were trying to go from holding the negative physiology and going to the positive state, or when you were holding the positive physiology and trying to go negative, how many people noticed your body wanted to change? Anybody notice that your body when you started to try and access those feelings, your body wanted to do something different? That's what you have to be conscious of. When Amy did her research, she found out that if you assume certain physiologies, your emotional, your endocrine system, your hormonal state will change in 2 minutes or less. Or rather, the window was really 2 minutes. And what she discovered is called power poses because she had people assuming victory poses and holding them for 2 minutes and more. And what she noticed was that when you held these physiologies, you had a 25% bump in testosterone in as little as 2 minutes. Now, for those of you who've ever suffered from low testosterone, that's huge, right? Now, for you ladies who are going, well, I'm female, what do I need testosterone for? Just about everything. Testosterone is the achievement hormone, okay? Empathy, or estrogen, is the empathy hormone. And they are antagonists, even though they're a couple of molecules apart, all right? So the more estrogen you have, the more of a doormat you become. The more testosterone that you have, the more of a dickhead you become. And regardless of what plumbing you have, that's kind of how it works. So the whole idea isn't, is testosterone better than estrogen? No. It's what's appropriate to the situation. And that's one of the things that NLP teaches us. There's no such thing, ladies and gentlemen, as a good behavior or bad behavior. There's no such thing as a bad belief or a good belief. The question becomes, is it appropriate to the situation or circumstance? Is it making your life better? Is it getting you what you want? The rule is, if the answer to any of those questions is no, change it. Because you have the authority to do it. You have permission. It's your brain, it's your memory, it's your body. It's just nobody showed you how. And this goes back to this whole belief thing. See, we're taught that our beliefs actually matter. And they do on one level. But we think that our beliefs are these big, impossible things to change. Like there's this huge iceberg in the middle of the Atlantic that we have this little pickaxe that we're just going to try to nibble at it. That's actually not true. That's your conscious mind creating a decision about a belief. And that's really what all beliefs really are. at the most basic fundamental level. There are decisions about the way the world is that your nervous system made based on the information it had at the time. And it created that experience. NLP likes to call it an internal representation. But then when we say internal representation, that could be a belief, it could be a memory, it could be a symptom, for lack of a better word, a way you generate a behavior. Each and every one of these has an underlying structure that the nervous system reads to create that experience. If we understand that system, if we understand that code, then we can change the program. Now, you are not computers. You'll hear me use this word computer and program and all these things a lot. But I'm here to tell you, a lot of people like to say, well, people are just like computers. That's a lie. Who was here first?
Computers.
Damn it! There's always one, right? But who was here first? Us. Damn straight. So are we like computers, or computers are like us, just not as cool? Not nearly as advanced. Okay? Remember that.
Humans?
Huh?
The movie Humans?
No, I haven't. I deal with humans every day. What do I need to see a movie about? Right? So the whole idea is that when human beings create something, and this goes back to a much older science than The Secret, as most of us are taught. It goes back to where The Secret actually comes from, called the tabula smeragdina, or the principles of hermeneutics. This thing called the law of analogy. Patterns repeat at different levels of reality, aka different levels of experience, different levels of awareness. But it's the same patterns that repeat. And if you understand how to look for patterns, how to see the patterns at every level, the universe will reveal itself. Because it's not a universe of stories, although we talk in stories, we communicate in stories. We live in a universe of vibration where patterns repeat. A repeating pattern, that's kind of like a rhythm, which is kind of like a frequency, right? Everything repeats at different levels of reality. You just have to ask the right questions. You have to have the right perspective to be able to become aware of these things. And the sages taught us that if we learn how to see things in the microcosm, if we look at what the body does on a physics level, we can start to understand what's happening on a cosmic level. By the same token, if we look at what the universe does, the laws of physics do, we can start to understand what's happening inside of us. What we're doing consciously, unconsciously, neurologically, hormonally. Patterns repeat at different levels of reality.